Hello, friends, students. How are you? I hope all of you are safe and hoping your health very fine. Today, I will discuss the subject Business Communication, Semester 2 BCom. There are 4 units of business communication. The first one is the title of the first unit is Objectives of Communication. What are the objectives of communication? In first unit, we have to study the theory of communication, means what are the objectives, what is the aim of communication, why should we study communication, how we can make our communication effective and meaningful. The detailed points of the first unit are as the first one is merits and demerits of upward communication. This is one of the most effective channel of business communication in industry, in companies, in organizations. We do find this type of channel of communication. In this question, in this topic, we have to discuss what are the merits, means what are the advantages, what are the benefits of upward communication, how this upward communication channel is useful and meaningful in every walks of life. What are the demerits, means what are the disadvantages, how it is harmful in communication, in companies, in organizations, in institutions. So these are the 2 points that we have to discuss, merits and demerits of upward communication. The second point is the same, means the downward communication. Before we discuss, let me just give you a brief idea of upward communication. The point 1, what is upward? Means bottom to top. In any institution, if you find the lowest level employee, it can be a gatekeeper, it can be a sweeper. Starting from them, step by step, the information gradually goes to the ultimate management of the institute, organization, or a company. So this is how the information goes upward from lowest person to highest authority. So in brief, this is the upward communication. Now let us discuss the second point, that is downward communication. The word itself suggests its meaning. Downward, its merits and demerits, means its advantages and advantages, how it is useful, and if we do not follow the rules of the downward communication, it can be harmful. Down means the opposite of upward communication. Highest to lowest, top to bottom. Suppose in universities, suppose let us understand, just give you the sequence of downward communication. Just give you a very minor example. Suppose in university, the highest authority is the vice chancellor of the university. Starting from the vice chancellor, he passes the information to the university registrar. University registrar and the vice chancellor passes the information in executive council. There are so many designated professors, government officers are supposed to be in executive council. They discuss and finalize it, and then it comes to the academic council. After academic council, then it comes to the board of studies, and after board of studies, this information, means this resolution, passes to the various principals of the colleges. The principal of the college informs to their staff members, to their teachers, and teachers informs in the classroom to the students, and ultimately the same information students passes at their home to their concerned parents. So this is how the step by step, gradually the information passes from highest authorities to the lowest authority. So this is the downward communication. So we discussed 2 points: upward communication, its merits and demerits, its advantages and disadvantages. In the same way, downward communication, its benefit, its merits and demerits. The third point is horizontal communication. This is another effective channel of communication. Let me just outline you about the word horizontal. What do we mean by horizontal with reference to the communication? Horizontal means in the society there are equal members from the point of view of their designation. Suppose 2 principals, 2 teachers, 2 doctors, 2 lawyers who discuss the information. Their position, their designation is quite equal. Both are principal. Suppose if any principal of the institute has something to discuss, he may contact the other principal. So when 2 persons both are equally in position, equally in designation, both are having the designation of principal, so whatever they communicate, whatever the information they discuss or passes, we can call it horizontal communication. Suppose if I can say in purely Gujarati language કે બંને અધિકારી હોદ્દાની દ્રષ્ટિએ, પોસ્ટની દ્રષ્ટિએ સમાન હોવા જોઈએ. બંને ડૉક્ટર હોઈ શકે, બંને વકીલ હોઈ શકે, બંને પ્રિન્સિપાલ હોઈ શકે, બંને હોદ્દાની દ્રષ્ટિએ, અને એમની વચ્ચે જે કંઈ ડિસ્કશન થાય તો આપણે એને હોરિઝોન્ટલ કમ્યુનિકેશન કહેશું. In horizontal communication, we have to discuss the meaning, the definition, its benefits, its merits and demerits. So this is the third channel of communication. The first one is upward, the second one is downward, and the third one is horizontal communication. The fourth one is equally effective and necessary for the organization, that is vertical communication. This is quite interesting. This is the only channel, this is the only vertical channel which moves in a both way. It moves upward communication as well as downward communication in both the way. This is the only channel that moves in both the direction. It moves upward communication as well as downward communication. So we have to discuss how it moves upward communication, what are the advantages, what are the merits of upward communication with reference to vertical communication, as well as vertical communication also moves downward communication. So also with reference to vertical communication, what are the merits and demerits of vertical communication? So this is the fourth channel. The first one is upward communication, second is downward communication, the third one is horizontal communication, fourth one is vertical communication. The next one is, which is most important and the most, one of the most IMP question we can call it, grapevine communication. What is grapevine? Grapevine means the rumor. chit chat. In leisure time, sometimes we make a very healthy comment which is not very important, which can be told in a very light way, in a light manner, in an entertaining manner. And in Gujarati, we can say afwa, which has no authentic source. It can spread from anywhere, at any point of time. It can be about government, it can be about society, it can be about any celebrity, it can be about any institute. But we cannot find from where it started. We cannot find out the origin of the grapevine. So, grapevine is also necessary in our communication because it also sometimes, due to heavy burden of work, sometimes it makes the employees very relaxed. So, it is also necessary, and in the due course of the time we will discuss what is grapevine, what are the advantages, disadvantages, and how it is harmful to the society. And the last topic in the first unit, that is consensus. Consensus means one kind of agreement on any issue, on any information. All the members are agreed to certain point of that, okay, we all are agreed, means if we can say in Gujarati, sarva sammati. So these are the points in the first part, in the first unit of the first part. In the second part of the same unit, means the unit 1, in second part the title is barriers to communication. Barriers means obstacles, hindrances, how our communication is prevented, what are the reasons, how we cannot pass the meaningful information to the other person. The first point is language barriers. Considering the language part, suppose, let me give you the example. Suppose if we go to the south part of India, in Tamil Nadu, suppose if we start to speak Gujarati language, nobody will understand you. And if any person from Tamil Nadu comes to Gujarat and he will start to speak his Tamil language, the Gujarati people will also be not able to understand his language. So different language creates a barrier in communication. So we have to study in detail about language barriers, cross-cultural barriers. From the cultural point of view, there are also barriers. We will discuss in the due course of the time. Socio-psychological barrier. Sociological barriers as well as psychological barriers. सामाजिक दृष्टिना अवरोध, मनोवैज्ञानिक दृष्टिना अवरोध. What are the social barriers and what are the psychological barriers? The next one is technical barriers. Suppose sometimes any instrument in industry is not working properly or creating too much sound, we may not be able to understand properly. So this is the technical barriers. And the last point, this is also a very important point, that we all discuss that language barrier is there, cultural barrier is there, socio-psychological barrier is there, technical barrier is there, but how we can overcome these barriers, how we can control all these barriers, what we keep in mind so that we can pass our information, our ideas, our thoughts, our feelings, our suggestions, our instructions in a proper and meaningful way. So that there are certain rules and regulations. If we follow it, certainly we can pass the information in a quite a meaningful way. So these are the points that we have to discuss in Unit 1. The Unit 1, the first one is objectives of communication and the second one is barrier to communication. If you find any difficulty while understanding these topics, you may contact to me, or you can write down my email address. My email address is Hitesh, HITESH Hitesh Joshi 7373 @gmail.com. You can mail me, you can share your comments in my YouTube channel. I need your valuable suggestions so that I can improve and I can present better information. I can guide you in a most effective way, in a better way. So once again, I request you, I appeal you to all of you to subscribe this channel, comment it, and let me have your feedback so that I can improve myself. And when I will present the next video, that is unit 2 of the semester 2, I will keep in mind all these your feedbacks, your suggestions. I hope you will find it useful. Thank you very much. Have a good day.